Hari Om to one and all. Welcome back to Life in Vedanta, where we are discussing the Utpatti-Prakāraṁ, meaning the creation of the 24 Tattvas, the creation of the 24 elements which constitute not only our world but the multi-universes, including the self, including us, the body, the mind, the intellect. But before going ahead, like always, kindly join me in remembering Bhagwan, in remembering our gurus, in remembering all those great Maharishis, those seer scientists who have preserved and passed this knowledge up to us. Kindly join palms and join our minds together. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्मरम् ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. It is possible that today's session could be a very long one, as we are unraveling the creation. So, why should it be a long session? Because when we see in the world anything that is being created, for example, if we plant a seed tonight, the entire tree doesn't come tomorrow. It takes time. It takes its own sweet time to flourish, mature, and then grow up fully. Isn't it? In the same way, here, what is Shastra doing? It is sowing a seed. A seed where in the intellect, a new pathway, a new neuro pathway is being created, which is called as samskara in our mind, by which the flow thought, the thought of flow, the flow of thought of Upanishadic knowledge flows uninterrupted continuously. So, it could be that it takes a little longer. So, bear with me and focus your minds. Let us begin with Utpatti-Prakāraṁ. Utpatti-Prakāraṁ. The statement that Shastra makes is atha caturviṁśati-tattvotpatti-prakāraṁ vakṣyāmaḥ. First, we start with the last word. It says vakṣyāmaḥ. Vakṣyāmaḥ does not mean that I speak. The Upanishadic masters attribute everything that they are about to discuss, they are about to reveal to the students as coming from the parampara. Parampara means the lineage. In Shastra, in Vedanta, in Advaita, there is no I. It is always the parampara, the lineage. That in the lineage it has been said like this, that Poorvesham, meaning my master had spoken to me in this way and the way his master had spoken to him. So there is an unbroken succession of knowledge, of the thought flow. Therefore, it is possible to hold the thread of thoughts and move to reach that goal which the masters had reached. The word atha means hereafter. the first word of this mantra that we chanted is atha. Atha means hereafter. Whenever there is a word atha or athato in Shastra, it always means that a new chapter is beginning. And it also indicates that something previously has been explained, and depending on that knowledge that we have gained, the further knowledge is going to be said. Therefore, whenever you come across this word in Shastra, atha, understand that a new chapter is beginning. And therefore, before the Utpatti Prakarana, it is said, atha caturviṁśati. Now, hereafter, the 24 caturviṁśati, tattva utpatti, the creation of the 24 elements from which the entire universe have come, we shall discuss. Shastra coins a new word for all of us. The word is Māyā. Let me repeat the word. The word is Māyā. And there is an entire statement along with this word Māyā. Allow me to read it for you. Brahma ashrayaha sattva raja tamo gunatmika Māyā asti. What it means? Brahma ashrayaha. Ashraya means dependent upon. Ashraya means that base upon which something is. So what is the base the Shastra is saying? Brahman. The word Brahman means in Advaita Vedanta or in the Vedas, whenever the infinite, the truth, the consciousness, the self is expressed, it has always been expressed as Brahman. The reason for this is the word itself. What does the word Brahman mean? Let me get your attention to the word Brahman is different than the word Brahma. Brahma, Brahmaji as we call, it is a male gender. But Brahman is a neuter gender. There is no male, no female. It is considered to be as an it, not he or she. What does the word Brahman mean? It means big. How big? Big is an adjective used to qualify or to explain a noun. In simple language, what it means is, if you say, oh, he is so big, she is so big, the bigness of that he and she is limited to the size of the person that you are speaking to. Correct? But here, it is directly been said, Brahman, the big. What does it mean? It means the biggest. It means that nothing is even closer to what the bigness of this Brahman is. The truth, the existence, what we call as Virat, huge. We know that our earth is like a dot in front of our sun, right? The sun that gives us heat. But do you know there are suns which are 1,000 times bigger than our sun? And they are also not called Brahman. So imagine the substratum that we are speaking of, upon which the entire universe is playing its game. It is called by an adjective Brahman, big. So our minds cannot conceive that bigness, because to human mind, smallness can be conceived. That this room is 35 feet by 25 feet. Yes, I can imagine. We can imagine how big is that. But when something is said like it is endless, human beings don't know what endless means. When something is said it is infinite, we may just speak of infinity, but we don't know what it means, what it is to be continuous, uninterrupted and infinite. That is called Brahman. We are speaking of Māyā, that Māyā is completely dependent on Brahman. Depending on Brahman, who has Sattva, Raja and Tama, the three qualities, we could say three properties. Of the three qualities, of the three properties, is called the three gunatmika. These are the three gunas, three qualities, three properties. Māyā asti, Māyā is or remains. So put it in a simple English language. Māyā is that which remains with the support of Brahman. So please remember this sentence while the entire explanation of creation is going to be explained or expounded. That Māyā remains with complete support of Brahman. Without the support of Brahman, Māyā cannot do anything. Māyā is nothing. But only with the support of Brahman that Māyā is there. Why are we speaking all this? Because we have come to a point in the text that the mumukshu, the sadhaka, the you, the me, we have come to a point where we have got stuck. We are stuck and we are unable to go forward. What is that has made our mind stop and it is not allowing us to go forward? The creation theory. We are so engrossed in this thought ki, how did all this come to be? Yes, 24 tattvas must have come, but how do they come? Yes, that the whole universe is made up of the 5 great elements, but how did the 5 great elements come? And so long as this thought, like a speed breaker on the road, like a thorn in the leg, and like a question which does not move away from your mind, is not cleared, is not satisfied, it is very difficult for any sadhaka to go beyond that question. Therefore, upon the inquiry of the sadhaka, all these 24 tattvas are going to be explained, that how they started. Therefore, let us get our mind to the original sentence, what is called as the vakya of Tattva Bodha. What was the main sentence of Tattva Bodha that we began with? It was sadhana chatushtaya sampannadhikarinam moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakṣyāmaḥ. For the benefit of those mumukshus who are endowed with this sadhana chatushtaya, the 4-fold qualifications, for those mumukshus, for those students, we are expressing, we are now speaking about the tattva utpatti or the tattva viveka. Tattva viveka, the discrimination between the truth and the not truth, the atma and the anatma. Why? So that the sadhaka, the mumukshu, gains something. What would he gain? Moksha sadhana bhutam. The goal of the mumukshu is to have moksha. What was the explanation given about moksha? Atyantika dukkha nivritti, paramananda prapti. That means absolute cessation from all forms of sorrow and complete and total bliss. To achieve this goal, the entire text had started. So never forget what is our goal. So long as the goal is clear in front of our eyes, in our mind, we will not go here and there. We will move towards the goal. And this is the reason that Tattva Bodh, the text, now has to explain to us that how does this entire universe come to be? Because that particular thought has become a roadblock in our minds. And as a mumukshu, we cannot have any roadblocks because our vision has to be clear. Therefore, out of pure love, out of the great generosity, out of pure selflessness of the Master, they come up and they express all this that we are about to hear. Atha, hereafter. That means the last topic that we had concluded was Atma Satyam. And now we are going to understand Tadanyat Sarvam Mithyeti. So we had understood. We had been explained what Atma is. What is Atma? Atma is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Meaning it is existence, consciousness, bliss. Are they three? No. They are not three. It is one. In all of us. In everything. In every being. In everything that is. It is the same common existence. And what is in us? Pinda, the microcosm, is the same in Brahmanda, the macrocosm. We've studied all this. They are the same. Jivo Brahmaivana Aparaha. That the Jiva, individual self, and Brahman, the total consciousness, the absolute truth, are not two but the same. And what were the attributes? That it is one single, unbroken, homogeneous self, which has never taken birth, therefore it can never die, which has always been there, which will always remain, which cannot be broken or made into compartments or parts. Correct? This is what we had understood. This is where is my problem. Now, I am going to become something called as Purvapakshi, meaning the opponent or a person who is challenging the Siddhanti. Siddhanti means the one who has complete faith in the knowledge of the Vedas. So, the Purvapakshi says, I have a problem over here. Siddhanti says, really? What is the problem? I don't seem to be having problems. He said, no, there is a problem. In your own explanation of the self, of the consciousness of Brahman, you have said, okay, it is partless. What does partless means? Partless means it is something from something cannot come out. Yeah, correct. You mean to say it is not like milk, that you boil the milk and from the milk cream will come. Correct. It is not like that. So, how can anything come out of Brahman? The Purvapakshi is asking the Vedanti, oh Vedanti, how come something come out of Brahman which is absolutely partless, which cannot be? Now that sounds very logical, isn't it? That true, it cannot be. That cannot be. He says, do you think Brahman is something like a potter? And there is a clay and there is a wheel. The potter puts the clay on the wheel and the wheel is rotating and the potter is making the pot, and now the pot has become ready and it is kept over there. So there is the pot and here is the potter. Means Brahman got some material from some place and he created this world and he created all of us and he kept us there and he's from there watching us. He is there and we are here. Is it something like that? The Siddhanti says, of course not. This is Advaita Vedanta that we are talking about, where there is no two parts. In fact, it has been said that everything, every being is nothing but consciousness. Purva Pakshi is saying, that is what I am saying. That what you are saying, that these 24 things have come from Brahman, is wrong. The Siddhanti said, when did I say that? I said, the created world has been created from these 24 tattvas. And we are sitting here to discuss this, that from where did these 24 come? I never said it came from Brahman. I said Brahman is this which is one single homogeneous existence. Why did your mind jump into this way that you thought, since Brahman is the only truth, since Brahman is the only origin, everything should have come from that? The Purva Pakshi says, but that is the logical thing to think. And this is where Vedanta says that a point in time comes where our logic fails to give us answers. A point in time comes where our minds stop to churn, to think. Why? What we are discussing is something beyond the mind. Why? Why do the Vedantis say that? Because that which created the mind is subtler than the mind. And in the subtler and the grosser system, we understand that the gross can never feel the subtle. The subtle pervades the gross always. And this is why whenever it is said in Vedanta that the self is beyond the mind and intellect, this is what it means. That no doubt that the mind is subtler than the body and the intellect is subtler than the mind, but the consciousness, the self, is the subtlest. Just like the mind cannot completely fathom what the intellect says, the body can never know exactly what the mind wants. In the same way, the mind and intellect and the individual consciousness will never come to know what that subtlety of that Brahman is. The Purva Pakshi scratches the head and he said, but you are saying exactly what I am saying. The Siddhanti says, this is precisely what I am saying. That what you are saying is what I am saying. So where is the problem? He said, the problem is that I don't understand. How did the world come to be? He said, okay. So let us see what the Shastra says about how did all this come to be. I hope you all are understanding the thought flow. I hope you understand why we are having this Purva Pakshi as well as the Siddhanti mode of understanding. Go back to the first Life and Vedanta, first session, and you will understand why in that session the Shastra had said that it is a question answer, prashna uttari mode method of learning. Because till the time the mind is not attuned to the master and the Shastra, the right questions don't come. And once the right question starts coming, the answers are automatically there. And now the Purva Pakshi has come into perfect alignment the way the thought flow had taken the Purva Pakshi's mind. It has come in alignment and the Purva Pakshi has said everything that the Siddhanti should be saying. Now we go further in our understanding. In the worldly parlance, to create something, we need minimum two things. One, the material cause, meaning, suppose if I want to make gold bangles, so firstly I need gold material. It's called material cause. And the other, the Efficient cause means the gold bangle maker, the one who will give shape and give all the designs and everything. Correct? These two things are required. Oh, you would say, oh, but modern technology doesn't need a person, it automatically does with the machine. Okay, gold and the machine. So the gold is the material cause and the machine is the efficient cause or the intelligent cause. The clay is there and the potter is there. When the clay is put on the wheel, the potter with his efficiency creates the pot. So there is an material cause, upadana karana, and there is a nimitta karana, means that which is an intelligent cause or efficient cause. Anything in the world that we know to create, we need these two things. But then we also know somebody called as a magician. What does the magician do? It removes a cap, and from the cap it removes a rabbit. Now we all know a cap cannot give birth to rabbit, but we can see it. From the hat he removes the rabbit, and from the rabbit what he does, he puts a cloth over it and he moves and removes a banana. Now what is this? There is the material cause, there is no material cause. Because we know for a rabbit to come out, we need a rabbit. A rabbit will give birth to rabbit. For a banana to come out, we need a banana tree. So what is happening in front of us? The same person who is the intelligent cause, he himself becomes the material cause also. Whenever we see the same intelligent cause and the material cause as the same, we term it, we means the world has given it a name, it has given it a term, it is called illusion. Illusion means something which is seemingly there, but you know it is not true, but still you see it is there. And needless to say, we all are masters in this. We all do this probably every single night. You guessed it right. In the dream, what do we do? In the dream, the mind has not slept. The mind is alert. The body has slept. The body consciousness is gone. But the mind is now free to do its gymnastics because the limitation of body is not there. Therefore, what happens? It creates worlds, it creates universes, it creates beautiful things that it likes all the time. And where does it create? On the mind. From where does it create? From the mind. And when you wake up, where do all this creation go? In the mind. Therefore, we call it what? It was just a dream. You know what a lovely illusion I saw. I was deluded in the night. I saw this, I saw that. Isn't it? Why? Because the mind was the intelligent cause, the efficient cause, as well as the material cause. Whenever we see that the material cause and the intelligent cause is the same, we call it illusion. Correct? Yes. So, if Brahman creates the entire universe without any material, then what would be this world? This world be illusion. So you mean to say the world is illusion? The Purva-Pakshi asks. The Siddhanti says, yes. The Purva-Pakshi says, but didn't you just speak about the 24 Tattvas, they came like that, and this happened and that happened? The Siddhanti says, you're right, yes, I spoke about all this. And the Purva-Pakshi says, but why did you speak all this if everything was illusion? Why didn't you tell me in the beginning only that everything is illusion? He said, yes, I could have said that. But then you would have told me, you see what? Wait, if you think this world is everything illusion, I'll come to you tomorrow. And you would have never come. Because you would have never believed that the world is illusion. Remember the sentence, Atma Satyam. Atma is the only truth. Tadanyat sarvam mithyeti. Other than Atma, everything is illusion. We've been telling this from beginning. But your mind came to a point where you yourself are seeing the fallacy in the creation. That now your mind has come to that understanding that to create the world or create anything, there has to be these two factors. And when Advaita Vedanta, the Shastra, the Master, the Vedas have clearly now explained to us that consciousness is one single homogeneous self, it cannot be parted. Then what is all this? Because from that one single, nothing can come. Then how is all this there? And the answer you only gave, that it is illusion. Because it is illusion. But how is it an illusion? The next question of a mumukshu should be, how is it an illusion? I can feel it. It is tangible. I can see it. I can absolutely see it. I can smell it. I can taste it. It is there in front of me. How do you call it illusion? And this is the most appropriate question. How is this world illusion? How is this world illusion? Let us rewind our mind. Remember, Shastra, Vedas had come up with a word called Māyā. What was Māyā? Māyā was that which is trigunatmika, means it is endowed with these three. It is of the qualities of these three. Sattva, that which is purity. From purity, positivity comes. Second, it says that it has Rajas. Rajas means activity. From activity, movements come. Movements means something starts, something ends, something starts, something ends. And the third aspect is called Tama. Tama means indolence, dullness, procrastination. Those things which one ought to do, but the person says, okay, maybe I'll do it later. That is procrastination. Māyā is made up of these three. Now, look around you. Don't you find everywhere that you look all these three qualities? Stop looking outside. Look at your own self. Don't you find you moving into all these three? Morning, evening, afternoon, morning, evening, afternoon, morning, evening, afternoon. One day you're so positive, one day you're so negative. One day you're so dull, next day you're so active, next day you're... What is this? The Shastra says, just as from milk comes cream, from cream comes butter, from butter comes ghee. Ghee. But ghee, butter, cream are called what? Milk products. There is no similarity between cream and butter and ghee. They are all very different. But still, they have the underlining of the milk. So, what your origin is, the product will have to have those qualities. They may look different. They may smell different. They may taste different. But they will still be called as the milk product, and they will be having the qualities of the same. These subtle qualities will have to be there in the effects of the cause. The cause will always leave its subtleties in the effects, just as all the gold ornaments, they be of whatever size and shape, they are gold and gold in their essence. In the same way, the entire universe and us are moving in sattva, raja and tama, positivity, activity and dullness. Everything around us is built and made out of this, and we feel it within us, we see it on us. That means clearly that Māyā is that from which all of this has come. The Purva Pakshi shakes his head. You mean to say there is one Brahman and one Māyā, and Māyā has that power to create all this? The Siddhanti says, Oh Purva Pakshi, how are you saying there is Māyā? Didn't you only tell before that there is nothing but the truth? Truth is one homogeneous and there is nothing else but the truth. That is Brahman. So how are you saying there is one Brahman and one Māyā? And the Purva Pakshi says, Guru Maharaj, kindly, you only explain to me what is this, what we call as guthi in Hindi. This complete confusion. This confusion is coming because of two things, two powers of Māyā. Powers of Māyā are two. Their gunas, qualities are three. But Māyā has two powers. The first power of Māyā is that it prevents us to see the truth. It is called the power of veiling. Avarana Shakti. Avarana, veiling. Shakti, the feminine strength, the power. And the second is Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa means projection power. The two powers. One, it prevents, it makes you ignorant of the truth. And second, it projects something else on the truth, which it makes you believe that that is true. This is the power of Māyā. Oh, Purva Pakshi says, my God, Māyā seems to be very powerful. Māyā is a woman, right? So Siddhanti smiles and says, yes, it is the feminine power. In the world, don't you see the feminine power so energetic? What is the world in Sanskrit called? Shrishti. Feminine name, because it's feminine power. What is knowledge called? Vidya. Oh, Vidya is also a feminine name. Oh, what is power called? Shakti. Oh, Shakti is also feminine name. Exactly. Think deeply. Oh, Purva Pakshi, don't you take the feminine power just like that. It is the power which makes and breaks the entire universe. That's why Māyā is called Shakti. And we all know that we pray to Shakti, the Navaratris that we have, the three deities that we pray to, the mother, power, knowledge, and wealth. What is wealth? In Sanskrit, Lakshmi. So, naturally, the entire universe is governed, created, protected, and destroyed by the Shakti, by the power which is called feminine power. However, the knowledge, Ma Saraswati, which makes us understand which opens the intellect neuropathways and gives us the right knowledge to reach Brahman, the reality. All this happens through Māyā. Two powers of Māyā. One, the veiling power. Second, the projection power. The entire universe is created out of the permutation and combination of sattva, raja and tama. When these three create the entire universe, the qualities are still there. And these three have emerged from the feminine power called Māyā. Therefore, the feminine power in our world, they are also having those specific powers, specific abilities, which is purely for them. This is no feminism going on. This is how Shastra has explained Shakti. Therefore, in the culture of India, what we call as the Bharatiya culture, the Sanatana Dharma, where women are held at the highest respect, the land that we stay in is also given the stature of mother. The name of the land is also given the stature of a woman, where knowledge is revealed. This is how the thought process from the beginning in our culture has been given to the students, so that as they pass on through the life, they learn to respect the sister, the mother, as well as the lady of the universe. The Purva Pakshi is now at a point where it has to understand that how it is happening, that if Brahman is only the truth and nothing but the truth, then how does this power come? Where does the power come from? What is this Māyā? How is this Māyā coming about? And therefore, the mind is once again taken back to Brahma Ashraya Trigunatmika Māyā Asti. Māyā is nothing else than the power of Brahman itself. Meaning, consider this example, that I am powerful. I have power. I have the power to move things from here to there. I have the power to jump from here to there. I have the power to think, to analyze. Correct? But can that power do anything without me? Can that power without me move anything? Can my power sustain without me? No, it cannot. Therefore, Māyā is nothing but power of Brahman. Because the pure self by itself is paripurna, meaning which is full, which is complete, which is absolute. Then why would it create anything? It cannot. But its power has been given this blessing, because Māyā is the power of Brahman and it is completely resting in Brahman, has been given this ability that, oh Māyā, your abilities are three. Go, see what you can do. And the entire universe is created of Māyā. But with the ashraya of Brahman. Therefore, in the Hindu pantheon, we always have one god and one spouse, Shiva, Shakti, Vishnu, Lakshmi. Why? Because it is a representation of Māyā, the power, the feminine Shakti, and the Brahman together. When Brahman, being as it is, and its power, Shakti, comes together, a new word is coined. It is called Ishvara. Therefore we say, Brahma Vishnu Ani Maheshwar Samori Basle Malahe Datt Guru Disle Malahe Datt Guru Disle. That Ishwar is the combination of these two things. The power of Brahman and Brahman itself. What does the Brahman do? Nothing. It just is. And what does its power do? Everything else. So from Brahman's power, called Māyā, came its three properties. And these three properties intermingling within themselves, with the permutation and combination of these three powers, these three gunas, these three qualities, that the Pancha Mahabhuta were created. The great elements which were in the nascent form, in the purest form, in the subtlest form, and from them, from the permutation and combination of those five, by the grossification system, by a process which is called Panchikarana, the grossification of the great five elements which were subtle, were grossified, and from the grossified came one thing, then the other, and the entire universe was created. Not only the universe, but us too. Not only the body, but the mind, but the intellect, and everything else that we know. And this is how the Shastra has explained to the great rishis. And that's how the great rishis have given us a logical understanding of how the only logical way that one could think the creation could come into being. Having one material cause, Māyā, and one the efficient cause, which is Ishvara. Only when they come together that the entire creation can be. And how this process from Māyā, the three gunas, and from these three gunas, how the process began, has been so beautifully explained in Tattva Bodha, which we shall take from the next session, verse after verse. Every single aspect, how the world has been created, is so beautifully explained. How was the body created was explained, is explained. How the mind is created, how the intellect is created. Everything has been given in detail, absolute detail. At this point, the Purva Pakshi is completely quiet. The Purva Pakshi has no more questions. But the Siddhanti, the master, being so very kind and so very generous in explanation, pokes one question and asks the Purva Pakshi, O Purva Pakshi, does your mind has the last question as to, but why? The question why? Why did Brahman do this? Why does Māyā do this? So the Guru, the Master, the Siddhanti says, the day you will be able to tell me all the things that you do from morning to night, from night to morning, from morning to night, from birth to death, why you do things the way you do things, and give me all the answers for all the whys, that day probably we'll be able to understand why the universe or us were created. I leave you all with this thought, and I pray to the Almighty Ishvara. You see, in Vedanta, we believe, we have this firm conviction, the faith that Brahman is and nothing else. This thought process in Advaita Vedanta is called Ajatavad, the non-dual Advaita. But in the same Advaita, in the same Vedanta, there is a second thought, which is a thought which is called the Vyavarika Satya, meaning where transaction has to take place. This world is being put into that reality. The world's reality is that it is purely transactional. And therefore, where there has to be transaction, you have to have more than one. You have to have minimum two. And that's where comes Māyā and the Brahman together in the form of Ishvara. So, whenever we pray, in the beginning of the session, in the end of the session, at our home, in a temple, in an open space when you see the nature, or when you're sitting quietly in a beautiful quiet place where you and your mind are alone, whenever this prayer comes, it has to be to the Almighty Ishvara, because we are in the transaction world. In the transaction world, the creator, the Utpatti Kar, is Ishwar. And always understand, Ishwar can never be alone without its power, without its Māyā. Let us thank Bhagwan. Let us thank our Gurus. Let us thank this beautiful Shastra, Vedanta Shastra, that it has preserved this beautiful knowledge, and so lovingly it has been passed from Guru to Shishya, from Shishya to the further person, in an unbroken succession chain of Guru Parampara. Come, let us bathe in this Guru Parampara. Let us sing praises of this Guru Parampara, without which we would have been lost in the Bhavasagar, in the ocean of this entire universe. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti